Winter has always been the great teacher of discipline, efficiency, and restraint. Long before central heating, electric blankets, or insulated drywall, people survived brutal winters with systems that were quiet, deliberate, and extremely effective. One of the most important of those systems was what we now call the breathing bed principle. This was not folklore, comfort theory, or superstition. It was a practical, lived method refined over centuries by people who could not afford wasted heat, damp bedding, or illness caused by cold nights. Before we continue, take a moment to support Warfield Prepper Chronicles by subscribing to the channel and, liking this video. It helps preserve and share knowledge like this that modern society is rapidly forgetting. Now, let's go straight to the substance. The breathing bed was designed to regulate heat, moisture, and airflow at the same time. Older generations understood something that, many modern homes actively work against. Warmth alone does not keep a body comfortable or healthy in winter, not by a long shot. Dryness, airflow, and temperature balance matter just as much, if not more sometimes. The breathing bed was built to trap body heat without sealing the sleeper inside a damp, suffocating microclimate. The real goal was steady warmth that lasted all night, not just short bursts of heat, followed by cold, clammy bedding. Beds were layered in a way that allowed moisture from the body to escape upward, while heat remained trapped around the sleeper. Wool, blankets, linen sheets, straw mattresses, feather ticks, and wooden bed frames all played a role, you see. None of these materials were airtight, and that was very much intentional. Air needed to move slowly through the bed, carrying moisture away while preventing heat collapse. This really is the foundation of the breathing bed principle. Natural materials were chosen because they managed moisture before insulation. Wool was dominant because it retains warmth even when damp and allows vapour to pass through its fibres. Linen sheets wicked sweat away from the skin faster than cotton ever could. Straw or horsehair mattresses created air pockets beneath the sleeper, preventing cold floors from stealing heat while allowing airflow from below. In practical terms, this meant fewer night chills, less mould growth, and dramatically lower rates of respiratory illness during winter. People woke up dry and warm, not overheated and soaked. Today, synthetic mattresses and foam toppers trap moisture directly against the body, forcing people to crank heat higher to compensate. The old system required no thermostat because the materials self-regulated. To apply this today, replace synthetic bedding layers with wool blankets, linen or cotton percale sheets, and breathable mattress pads. Now then, avoid memory foam directly under your body during winter unless it's separated by a breathable layer. Remember, you're recreating airflow, not just chasing softness. Bed frames and elevation, you see, were part of the thermal system, not simply furniture choices. Older beds were rarely placed directly on the ground. Elevation mattered because, cold sinks and damp air pools at floor level. A raised wooden frame allowed air circulation beneath the mattress, preventing rot, mildew, and cold transfer. This also reduced pest infestation and moisture build-up in winter homes that, frankly, were sealed quite poorly by modern standards. Many people today, perhaps without realizing it, sabotage warmth by sleeping on low-profile beds or floor mattresses in winter. Cold air drains heat continuously through conduction. Raising the bed even slightly, well, that restores one of the most important features of the breathing bed. A practical application is simple, really. Use a slatted bed frame instead of a solid platform. If you're using a platform, just make sure there are ventilation holes. And, avoid placing mattresses directly on concrete or tile floors during the winter months. This single change can noticeably improve overnight warmth. Layer order mattered more than layer quantity. Older generations did not just pile on random blankets. Each layer had a role. The layer closest to the body managed moisture. The middle layers trapped heat. The top layer controlled airflow and drafts. Misordering these layers caused overheating, sweating, and, eventual chilling as moisture accumulated. A linen or lightweight cotton sheet came first. Wool blankets followed. A heavier wool cover or quilt finished the system. Feather duvets were used carefully, often on top of wool rather than directly against the body to prevent condensation build-up inside the feathers. So, these days, sleepers can actually put this into practice by, resisting the urge to just use a thick synthetic comforter on its own. Instead, try combining a breathable base sheet with wool or even a wool blend blanket, and then finish it all off with a draft-blocking cover. This way you get warmth that stays stable all night, rather than fluctuating up and down. The bed, it was positioned away from walls and windows to help control airflow. See, older homes were drafty by necessity, but bed placement that minimized exposure. Beds were often set just a bit away from exterior walls to prevent condensation and cold transfer. And heavy curtains or bed hangings, they blocked drafts without sealing off the air completely. The breathing bed principle, it assumed that air would move through the room. The goal, really, was to manage that airflow, not to eliminate it entirely. Stale air, after all, caused illness. Gentle airflow, on the other hand, kept things dry and warm. Folks didn't actually sleep in thick garments, They wore breathable nightwear, often made from linen or wool blends, which let sweat evaporate without chilling the skin. Overdressing in bed was something they really avoided, since it messed with moisture flow and led to overheating, followed by a quick loss of heat. These days, sleeping naked under synthetic bedding often just makes moisture build up worse. Slipping into a lightweight wool base layer or some breathable cotton nightwear can really help keep you warm, while also making sure the bed stays dry. Back then, the focus was on heating the body, not the room itself. People used hot water bottles, warming stones, and even heated bricks wrapped in cloth to pre-warm their beds, not the whole space. This kind of localized heat cut down on energy use and helped keep sleep temperatures steady. So, modern application is, quite straightforward. You simply use a hot water bottle to warm the bed before sleeping, then remove it or maybe just reposition it. This allows you to lower the room heat while still keeping comfortable, which, aligns perfectly with the breathing bed principle. The breathing bed reduced illness, not just discomfort. Dry bedding meant fewer respiratory infections, joint pains, and skin conditions during winter. Moist, cold beds were associated with sickness long before germ theory existed. Experience taught what science later confirmed. This is especially relevant today for older adults and winter survivalists. Stable warmth without dampness protects circulation, sleep quality, and immune response. You know, with rising energy costs, unreliable power, and these poorly ventilated modern homes, the breathing bed is honestly more relevant than ever. This isn't just nostalgia, not at all. It's functional winter resilience. By rebuilding a breathable sleeping system, you actually reduce dependence on constant heating, improve your sleep quality, and gain a reliable cold weather advantage that doesn't rely on technology. The breathing bed principle, it wasn't written down in manuals, you see. It was passed through lived experience, winter after winter, generation after generation. It worked simply because it respected physics, biology, and environment rather than fighting them. If this knowledge added value to your understanding of historical survival systems, do consider supporting Warfield Prepper Chronicles by subscribing to the channel, liking this video, and sharing it with fellow historians and survivalists. These principles, well, they truly deserve to be preserved, practiced, and passed on.